Thank you very much. And I would like to thank President Lagarde for her presentation. I have a question concerning the coordination between major central banks in an effort to reduce inflation. Are you satisfied by the level of coordination? Are some things that could be improved between the Federal Bank, for instance, the ECB, the Bank of England, or is everything covered by a professional secret? So you don't have to tell us anything. This is my first question. The second question has to do with what Mr. Ferber said about the fiscal policy, because in the European Union we have two schools of thought. One school supports, let's say, an expansionary fiscal policy. The other wants to apply some kind of fiscal brake. But what about other major Western countries? For instance, the USA has a budget deficit more than 6% of GDP, if I'm not mistaken. And we have similar evolution in Japan and the United Kingdom. So how do you think we can reconcile getting our house in order, our fiscal house in order, which I agree it's necessary, with the fact that our other Western powers, which are competing with us in any way, are even more, have even bigger deficits? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kyrtsos. On your first question, which is the coordination between central banks around the world, we do compare notes, we do exchange views, we don't coordinate monetary policies. On a regular basis, all central bankers who are member of the club meet in Basel. That's where we look at financial stability. That's where we look at the state of the global economy and the spillovers between the various economies. So we try to have as much of an intake of economic measures, economic policies, change in the geopolitical landscape. So we discuss all these matters, but we never coordinate our monetary policy. And while we can meet a few days before a monetary policy meeting either in Washington or in Brussels or in Tokyo or in London, we never, ever share what our expectations are going to be or what decision we will propose. This is, it stays within the Governing Council, from my perspective as ECB, and within the FOMC at the Fed, and it's not something that I would even think of sharing, let alone ask in terms of information. But of course, we are focused on, price stability, all of us, and some of us, I think of the Fed, for instance, has a dual mandate and is also concerned about growth and will decide its monetary policy on the dual basis of its dual mandate. Fiscal policy, you're right, is very different in terms of fiscal support, in particular, between the United States and Europe, between Europe and Japan. And it's a factor of our different economies. It's a factor of the different strength of our currencies as well. It's a factor of political preference. And, from our perspective, I would say two things. One is, please, both governments, parliament, and all institutions concerned, deliver some fiscal framework within which fiscal policies can be decided with common criteria, with common understanding of what is intended and expected in terms of competitiveness, in terms of investment, in terms of public finance. And second, let's make sure that there is enough investment in order to improve the competitiveness of Europe in all sectors where we have competitive advantage or where we can develop competitive advantage. Thank you.
Thank you very much.